So you have an amazing idea for an online marketplace that will revolutionize an industry vertical. Just slap together a website with one of the myriad turnkey solutions out there and voila! Buyers and sellers will stream through your digital doors. Whoa, cowboy, not so fast. Way before building a fully fledged marketplace platform, you need to validate those assumptions of yours, and then keep validating. One of the biggest red flags when someone approaches us about their marketplace idea is a build it and they will come mentality, instead of embracing an iterative process. Many wannabe marketplace entrepreneurs have long lists of features and tech stack demands, despite not having any concrete evidence that buyers and sellers want or need their solution. The cold, hard reality is that building a successful online marketplace requires an iron-willed dedication to verifying and adjusting your assumptions. It's equally important to understand that this is not a once-off exercise with static conclusions. There will be a new set of assumptions that need to be validated at each stage of your marketplace's evolution. So before you waste your precious resources on a code factory that promises the Earth and the Moon, make sure you understand the validation challenges during each business stage. Stage 1. Validate the market for your marketplace idea. Is there a problem that needs solving? You may have little top-level experience of the vertical your marketplace concept targets. You haven't built anything yet, or you have a badly implemented platform with little or irrelevant traffic. What you should focus on: test if there's a general need in the market. Do market analysis by gathering data on the competitive landscape, consumer behavior, popular product categories, and regional trends. Start building user personas based on demographics, behavior patterns, pain points, and communication preferences. Tools for market validation. Industry publications. Analyze reports and white papers to understand industry trends, calculate your total addressable market, and evaluate developing cohorts. Keyword research. Analyze commonly used search terms used on platforms like Google or Amazon to see if there is 1. Demand for your concept, and 2. Which competitors are targeting those keywords. Targeted surveys, small groups based on ideal user personas, can illuminate user needs, issues with existing solutions, and demand for features and functionality that solve user needs better. It's also a good idea to outline your key business assumptions right from the start, even if you don't have enough information yet. You will be updating them in any case as your marketplace idea progresses through the next phases. The business model canvas provides such a high-level framework for the building blocks of your business: customer segments, pain points, acquisition channels, revenue streams, value propositions, and unique selling points. Its succinct format provides a clear snapshot of how the core elements of your marketplace idea fit together, making it easier to iterate on ideas and adjust strategy. Stage 2. Validate problem solution fit for your marketplace. Will people pay for your solution? You've established that there's a need in the market and done some user research. You may have experimented with a basic platform, but still struggle with user acquisition and/or engagement. This means you can't test how well you are solving user needs, since not enough users engage with the platform to evaluate its performance. What you should focus on: test the degree to which your product solves a specific need for a small, well-defined customer segment. Focus on the simplest problem that users would be willing to pay to have solved. Don't forget, this requires relevant, not huge volumes of traffic and engagement. The resultant feedback should also be used to refine user personas and your target market. Common focuses here: how is your target audience currently solving its problems, and how does your solution solve those problems better? Your best tool to test problem-solution fit is a low-fidelity MVP. It will help you to 1. Map out primary user journeys. This is a user's key touchpoints with the platform in order to accomplish a high-level goal. For example, how does a buyer select, compare, order, and pay for an item? 2. Design and build basic user funnels. They describe the granular practical steps required to accomplish a user journey via a user interface. For instance, what happens when a checkout button is clicked? 3. Define engagement metrics. Common examples are the activation rate, % of visitors that complete an action on the platform, such as listing a product or making a booking, or the search to fill rate, % of demand requests successfully matched with supply. 4. Drive targeted user traffic with SEO, PPC, email invites, or even physical outreach. This can be done with a small budget and often involves activities that don't scale well. 5. Gain user insights and establish the level of user interest. This exercise is an important part of the product discovery process. Stage 3. Validate product market fit for your marketplace. Do you have a viable business model? You've validated interest in your solution among a small target audience. People are engaging with your MVP, but the transaction rate is low. You may have started to generate some revenue, but do not yet have a viable business model. What you should focus on: to validate the business and revenue model you need to find out how much users are willing to pay, how they can find and engage with your platform, the best way to transact on the platform, and how you can retain them. At this point, it should be noted that your marketplace can be in multiple stages simultaneously based on different product and market segments. For example, an event ticket marketplace can have product market fit for sport events, but not necessarily for concerts or festivals. A property platform can have product market fit among Gen Z renters in London, but struggle to replicate the same among Gen X buyers in Manchester. Each new segment may therefore require a different approach at product level or market level. Now it is time to transition to a high-fidelity MVP. It will help you to 1. Test usability. Measure UX/UI design's impact on user flow and engagement. Monitor core functionalities such as search, find, select, compare, checkout, and shipping. Common metrics here are drop-off points, user feedback, sign-ups, ratings, and reviews. 2. Test and refine the business model. Techniques include user segmentation, product segmentation, and geographical focus. 3. Test and refine the revenue model. The AARR framework can help to define appropriate revenue metrics. For instance, tracking and analyzing the cart abandonment rate, customer lifetime value, or churn rate. 4. Follow an iterative process. Add, adjust, and test features and functionality in an incremental manner. This will reveal which features and/or functionality contribute to product market fit. Stage 4. Validate product channel fit for your marketplace. Are you focusing on the right strategies to scale your marketplace? You've established enough product market fit to suggest that you may be onto a viable business model. A significant number of people are willing to pay for your solution, and you may even have started making a small profit. However, your platform has not yet achieved long-term profitability and sustainability. What you should focus on: identify and invest in suitable acquisition channels and growth strategies. Make sure that you pay special attention to the on-platform user experience so that your hard-won users don't disappear. This may even require a complete overhaul of your platform infrastructure. At this stage, it may be a good idea to get some help from domain experts. The ability to map functional requirements and technical specifications to business goals and create productive user feedback loops will be key to scaling your platform. Strategies for scaling your marketplace. 1. Establish a growth culture. The stronger and faster your build, measure, learn loops, the easier it will be to identify suitable growth strategies and growth hacking opportunities. To achieve that, you will need to refine your data pipeline and identify the right growth metrics, such as liquidity, cost per acquisition, churn rate, etc. 2. Leverage data-driven marketing. Blowing your budget on ineffectual marketing campaigns is a common pitfall for marketplace startups. Marketing strategies that worked for other successful marketplaces may not be a good fit for your target audience. A data pipeline that supports user behavior analysis and user segmentation can help you identify optimal marketing channels. The next step would be to experiment with brand positioning, messaging formats, and other platform content to improve user acquisition, engagement, and conversions. Once channels and content are in place, you can scale with CRM integration and other forms of marketing automation. 3. Create more value for users. Features that increase the value proposition for users can deepen product market fit and create defensive moats. Caveat: Before spending zillions on fancy features that nobody wants, you will need to, you guessed it, validate some assumptions again. This is where that data pipeline and user feedback loops will once more reveal their value. Discover where users experience additional pain points or identify opportunities to further differentiate your platform from competitors with innovative tools. 3. Ignite network effects. Use data segmentation, especially those related to user demographics, product types, location and pricing tiers, to identify and promote areas that are working well. Personalized recommendations, low-friction curation tools, interoperability with other platforms, and community building are just some of the ways that marketplace startups have used to increase engagement with their platforms and trigger compounding feedback loops. 4. Minimize platform leakage. The more parts of the transaction flow you own, the less the likelihood of customers transacting off-platform, thus depriving you of platform fees. This can be achieved by removing points of friction, entrenching trust, and adjusting your revenue model. Friction can be minimized by improving discovery, how easy it is to find the right product or service, and convenience, the speed and efficiency with which buyers and sellers transact. Typically, this means optimizing the category structure, navigation architecture or payment flows, and streamlining fulfillment or procurement processes. Deepen trust with features such as review tools, seller curation, or anti-fraud and compliance technologies. A clear dispute resolution process is an underrated way to build long-lasting trust. Sometimes the revenue model needs rethinking to prevent disintermediation. Start by asking if there is a good balance between value and cost. For example, making service providers pay subscriptions or listing fees instead of taking commission on each transaction. Experimenting with pricing tiers can yield good results. Does your freemium model, for example, offer sufficient incentives for users to upgrade to the paid version? Are high-volume sellers and wholesale buyers rewarded with discounts? Seller pricing strategy is an often overlooked component of a sustainable revenue model. Foster loyalty among sellers by reducing their operational costs, increasing their sales, and maximizing their margins. This can be done with features such as cost calculators, automated pricing suggestions, tools for optimizing product visibility, or flexible fulfillment options. High-volume marketplaces that focus on products or services with low differentiation can benefit from a dynamic pricing model. Optimize your seller's revenue with a custom algorithm that uses variables such as location, dates, and availability to determine prices. Stage 5. Manage risk and opportunity in your marketplace. How are you optimizing your marketplace for ongoing success? Your marketplace is growing at a rapid rate, and it looks like you've reached the critical sustainability mark. However, with growth comes new types of risk. You will therefore need to come up with ways to preempt and manage the various threats to your platform's profitability. You can only successfully manage risk and opportunity if you first validate where your attention should be focused. You will need to monitor the right user journeys and technical metrics to mitigate risk and enhance platform performance. Tools for managing risk and opportunity in marketplaces include preventive measures that focus on monitoring the technical health of the platform and includes the exploration of data to preempt issues that may crop up in future. Corrective measures involve tracking and fixing platform errors. Evolutive measures aim to identify opportunities for platform optimization. If you made it this far, well done. You are probably serious about building a marketplace. But here's an uncomfortable truth. The days of slapping together a DIY MVP to validate product market fit and product channel fit, like a latter-day Jeff Bezos or Brian Chesky, are pretty much over. That is because of two undermining factors. Firstly, most novice marketplace entrepreneurs struggle to frame their assumptions. They simply don't know which questions to ask. And if you don't know the questions, it is almost impossible to find the right answers. Secondly, as competition for marketplace customers becomes more intense and consumers demand more value, marketplace startups don't have the luxury of throwing mud at the wall and hoping some of it will stick. Every day you spend chasing your own tail is a win for your competitors. It should be clear to even the most cynical would-be marketplace entrepreneur that a product expert with deep domain insights can be invaluable to minimize risk and increase opportunities for success.